one of the things I tell all my clients all the time, if somebody comes up to me and they're like, man, I just have commitment issues. I just can't commit to fitness. I just can't commit to eating healthy. And I'm like, okay, like you said you have a master's degree, right? Or an undergrad. They're like, yeah, I have a master's. I'm like, amazing. So you pretty much stuck with school for 18 years of your life.
Hi, my name is Mo Gayas. Essentially, I'm a kid who's obsessed with winning and sharing the lessons with you because growing up, I wish I had someone like me to help me out. On the Healthy Systems podcast, you will learn one main idea, system from each episode that you can use in your life, whether that is financial, relationships, fitness, and wellness. So if you're a millennial, you're hyper ambitious, this podcast is for you because the more systematic your life is, the more you can win and not waste time. So join me on your journey to building a life of healthy systems for yourself.
Hello. Welcome to Healthy Systems Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Mo. Today's episode is going to be short and sweet, but very, very important because in your health and fitness journey, nothing else is going to work unless you get this one thing right. Okay. So the moral of today's episode, or the title, is nothing matters. Nothing matters unless you believe that you can do this. Okay. Why is this concept so important? Well, I was reading this new book by Jordan Syatt. It's called Eat It. Pretty simple book overall, like good for people that are just starting in their fitness journey. Well, one of the things that really stuck out to me was at the beginning of the book, he talks about self-efficacy, which is nothing really works. Nothing matters unless you believe you can do this. And I think a lot of the time, what happens is too often we try a new diet program, we try a new workout program, and we don't really believe it's going to work. So guess what happens? It doesn't work, right? Because when we don't believe something is going to work, we don't try our hardest, right? When you actually believe, like think back to college, when you actually believe that you could get an A in that class because your best friend got an A in that class, you're actually going to try harder to get that A because there's a certain expectation. Like if you got a B, you would be considered a failure, right? In your own head. So you're like, dude, if Julie can do it, if John can do it, I can do it too. So then you end up trying harder. So same thing here with your fitness journey. If you don't really believe this is going to work, it's not going to work. You know, for the last 7 years, we've coached over 1,500 clients. And one of the things I noticed is, and I tell this to my team all the time, I'm like, when somebody joins training with the Titans, it's really hard for me to see who is actually going to get amazing results and who might not get amazing results right off the bat. And everybody gets results. Some people it just takes a little bit longer. And I think the people that get results right off the bat and they start crushing it are the people that already have this self-efficacy part solved, right? They get into the program, they already believe they can lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. They already believe in us as coaches. They listen to us, they take action, and that action gives them more confidence. And it's a very virtuous cycle where, you know, they believe they can do it. They take action on that belief. They listen to us. They're coachable. And then what happens is they start getting results. Now they're getting even a very positive feedback loop where they're like, dude, I'm a badass. I can get results. I'm already crushing it. So then that feedback loop takes care of them. Versus look at the opposite, because this sucker works the opposite way too, where people don't believe they can do it. They're like, yeah, I've tried diet programs before. I've tried the workouts before. It doesn't work for me, Mo. And then they get into the program, they do the first workout half-assingly, right? They don't really believe it's going to work. So how do you think you do when you don't really believe something is going to work? And then they look at the diet like, I've tried this before. Tried eating healthy before. It doesn't work for me, Mo. It worked for everybody else. It works for you, right? Because you have a beard and I don't. Like these make up excuses. And oh yeah, like that person is single. I have kids, and it's like, bro, like people with even busier schedules than you make it work. So it all comes down to belief. And the thing is, the things that we choose to believe, they end up becoming our reality. So do not let this sucker catch you off guard. Don't become that person that's like, nothing works for me. Don't like half-ass things. Go into things and be like, I'm going to achieve this, right? Because you have already achieved things in the past. You know, think about, use evidence in your life that has already happened. So one of the things I tell all my clients all the time, if somebody comes up to me and they're like, man, I just have commitment issues. I just can't commit to fitness. I just can't commit to eating healthy. And I'm like, okay, like you said, you have a master's degree, right? Or an undergrad. They're like, yeah, I have a master's. I'm like, amazing. So you pretty much stuck with school for 18 years of your life. right? Up until 12th grade in high school. Then you went to 4 years of undergrad. Then you went to 2 years of master's. Like for 18 years of your life, you stuck with school. That doesn't sound like somebody that has commitment issues, right? You stuck with school every day for 18 years and you were, because otherwise you wouldn't have graduated. They're like, oh, you're so right. Actually, it was, and sometimes they're like, actually, it was 19 years because I did an associate's too. And I'm like, see, so for 19 years, you stuck with something. That doesn't seem like somebody that has commitment issues. And I was like, you also said you're married. They're like, yeah. And then I'm like, how long have you been married? They're like, 10 years. I'm like, I've been married for 10 years. Pretty much stuck with that for every day for 10 years, right? They're like, yeah. I'm like, so you're not somebody that has commitment issues. You're somebody that hasn't found something that works for your fitness to be able to like commit to. Is that is that proper? They're like, yeah, that makes so much sense. I'm like, yeah, because the words we use matter. And the words we use create our thoughts, and our thoughts create our reality, and our reality shapes our beliefs. And if you know you failed in the past, your belief might be nothing works for me. And that belief will actually keep you down there, right? Keep you lost and keep you defeated. And it's a sucker that literally does not help you at all. Versus, I want you to have empowering beliefs, right? I want you to believe that you can do anything. I want you to believe that if you put your effort into it, if you put your heart into it, and you have proper coaching, proper guidance, and you actually do all the check-ins and you do the workouts and you follow the plan, you can achieve anything. That's the belief that I walk around with. And I think that's why whatever coach I work with, whether it's in business, fitness, life, people are like, Mo, you're always our favorite client. And I think the reason is I go into things believing I can achieve them. So then I try hard. I listen to the coach. I like whatever instructions they give me. I like literally try 3 times harder to follow them. And I communicate with my coach. If I'm struggling with something, I'm like, hey, coach, I know this is supposed to work. But right now, given the circumstance, I'm like a little uncomfortable with this just one thing. And then the coach finds a solution. And then we communicate. And then things just keep getting done. And then things keep getting better. So at the end of the day, you have to believe you can do it. Like that's the start. And please believe that and use evidence from your past life, from your schooling days when you were a National Honor Society student, or when you achieved something that you didn't think you could and you did it, right? Like use that evidence to give you further proof that you are who you say you are. You can stick with things. You can commit to things. You committed to school for all these years. You committed to your spouse for all these years. Like those are all great signs, right? And I see this a lot, right? I'll give you another example because I was talking to a friend about it like an hour ago. When people, right, like I gave you the health and fitness example. Now I'm going to give you a relationship example. Do you know we all have those single friends that are like, when it's a guy, they have really bad beliefs about women. They're like, yeah, man, there's no good woman left. And then I also have a lot of female friends that are like, Mo, man, there are no gentlemen left. There's no good guys left. And I was like, well, if you walk around with that belief, what do you think is going to happen? You're not going to find any of those people because your brain self-confirmation bias, it literally tries to create reality that you already believe in because that's very comfortable to you. You're like, see, I knew it. I knew it. Makes you feel good for a second, right? But if you go around the world and being like, yeah, I had a bad relationship, didn't work out. But that was just one person or 2 people or 3 people. The world is 8 billion people. You can't generalize people like that, right? You can't say like all women are this way or all men are this way or group an entire religion of people like, oh, people from this country are like this. And it's like, yeah, some stereotypes might be true. But at the end of the day, does this thought help you? If it doesn't, then change it. Be like, dude, this doesn't serve me. Don't sit with people that give you beliefs that you shouldn't believe in, that are disempowering, right? That are limiting you. So at the end of the day, if you hang out with a lot of, out of shape people, what's going to happen is you might start believing that nothing works for you. But if you start hanging out with all of us fit people, all of us people that actually were overweight at one point and got ourselves in amazing shape by adapting certain habits and learning certain skills and getting guidance and coaching, then you'll start believing differently. You'll be like, yeah, if Mo can do it, I can do it too. I have Mo on my side. He's coached all these hundreds of people and he's done it for 7 years. Like I got Mo on my side. I believe I'll accomplish my goal. Like that confidence just changes you, right? Because then you can borrow some of my confidence and use that to accelerate and push forward in your own life. And one of my favorite quotes on this is from Alex Hormozi. He says, you don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror. You become confident by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt. Self-doubt, not believing in yourself is common. but all of us have achieved things in our life. Those stack of undeniable proof, you going to school for 18 years, you being in a marriage for 10 years, like that is undeniable proof that you can stick with things. So fitness is the same way. We just got to learn some skills. We just got to get some guidance, and we too can stick with this one area of our life. So at the end of the day, nothing matters unless you believe you can do it. Okay. And the more self-efficacy you have, the more proof that you have, the more competitions you won in, or you competed in, or you tried your hardest in, the more self-confidence you'll have to achieve bigger goals in the future. Okay. You ever met people? You're like, man, this person is always winning. It just feels like they're always getting after it, and they're always growing and growing. And they've always been a winner. And I think that happens because every time they win, or every time they try their hardest, their self-efficacy increases. Their self-belief, their self-confidence that I can do hard things increases. So then they're no longer the person that goes and half-asses things. They actually know how much work it takes to actually win. So then the next time they start something, they actually try harder, right? They know that it's going to take work because in the past they have that proof. So at the end of the day, that voice inside of you that makes you question yourself, that puts doubt in you. Yeah, man, most program might have worked for other people. Most coaching might have worked for other people. Personal training, nutrition coaching might have worked for other people. Doesn't work for me. Kill that voice. It's not serving you. It's going to keep you the same. And the alternative is, if you listen to that voice, you'll be 10 years later, 10 years older, and you won't be in the good shape that you want to be. Versus if you listen to another voice, which encourages you to take action, which encourages you to never quit, which encourages you to just take the next step, forget the full workout, just go on a 10-minute walk, go on a 20-minute walk today. Well, you did 20 minutes, let's go for a 30-minute walk today. Well, now that you're walking, let's carve out some time to do a 20-minute home workout. Well, now that we're used to home workouts, let's go to the gym tomorrow at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. or 12 noon, whenever you can. And it's just like, you just keep building proof and keep building evidence that you are who you say you are. You're somebody that sticks with things. You stuck with school all these years. You stuck with your spouse all these years. You stuck with your parents all these years, stuck with your siblings all these years. Give yourself that proof that you are somebody that can commit to things, right? Because you already are. I'm telling you, all of us have examples in our life where we stuck with things, where we got things done. So here in health and fitness, take that mentality and adapt it here, right? Because if you do, what's going to happen is you will take more action, you'll have more belief, and you'll get more results, which are going to increase your self-belief. And the whole thing it's a cycle of momentum, which leads to more and more winning. So I hope this helps. I hope this message landed home for you. And if it did, let me know. Instagram, Facebook, it's all at Mo Gaius. I love getting feedback from all of you because it means the world to me when I see that all of you get benefit from these short episodes that I record every weekend. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for listening to the Healthy Systems podcast. I really appreciate you for tuning in today. Now, here are 2 ways I can help you for free. One, you can join our free Facebook community by just going to this link, bit.ly/Titan Facebook group. Just type that into your browser and then answer 2 questions, and then we'll let you into our Facebook community where you'll meet other people, as well as we have a lot of free resources in terms of meal plans, workouts, all kinds of stuff in there. Second way I can help you for free is if you follow me on Instagram at Mo Gaius, MOE, G as in George, H as in horse, I as in India, A as in apple, S as in Sam. Follow me there and then shoot me a message with the word Healthy Systems, and then I'll be sure to send you a free gift. Other than that, keep listening in, and I really appreciate you.